Hi, I'm Ethan. Today, I'm going to read The Incredibles. It's a book. Not so long ago, an allied group of heroes used their special powers to protect innocent villain citizens from harm. They were the supers. Among them were Frozen, Buzzer and Elastigirl. But one of the supers stood out from the rest. His name was Mr. Incredible. He was the most popular hero in the city, though he insisted on working alone. One day, Buddy, Mr. Incredible's number one fan, showed up at a bank robbery wearing a pair of rocket boots to help him fly. Mr. Incredible simply said, "Fly home, Buddy. I work alone." But Buddy didn't listen. Mr. Incredible imagined to save Buddy from a bomb, but a bank robber escaped. Some train tracks were destroyed and a few people were hurt. It was after that day that the super's lives changed forever. People started to think supers did more harm than good. The government decided that supers should no longer be allowed to use their powers. So Mr. Incredible and his new bride, Elastigirl, became known as Bob and Helen Parr to the rest of the world. Years passed and the pairs had three children. They tried to live as an ordinary family, but their two oldest children, Violet and Stash, had superpowers. Only the baby, Jack, seemed normal. Like their parents, the kids weren't allowed to use their powers in public. Home was different. Dash used his super speeds to annoy Boy. He would become visible and fight back with force fields. Their parents had to use their superpowers to break up the fights. Ordinary life has hard for everyone, especially Bob. Bob being missed being a super, so he and his friend Lucas, the former Frozone, began to fight crime and help people in secret. One night, as the two friends rescued people from a burning building, someone secretly watched them. A mysterious woman named Murridge followed Bob and Lucius and told her boss about them. Mr. Incredible was just a person Marriage and her boss had been looking for. The next day, Bob was fired from his everyday job after a particularly rough day with his boss. When Bob came home, he found a small computer and his briefcase. The screen lifted up. "Hello, Mr. Incredible," Murray said. "I present a top secret division of the government, and we have need your unique abilities. Merge and the government needs Bob's help to stop an out of control experimental Robot, the supers aren't gone, Mr. Incredible. You're still here, she finished. Then her message self-destructed. Bob accepted the mission. He did not tell his family he had been fired. Again, instead, he told them he was going on a business trip. Within hours, Mr. Incredible was on a jet heading for the island of Nomenchison. Marriage described the mission. The droid 9000 is a top secret battle prototype robot, she explained. We lost control of it and now it's loose in the jungle. She warns Mr. Incredible that the robot would quickly learn his moves. The hero was to defeat the expensive on the droid without destroying it. Tie it down. Do it quickly. Don't destroy it, Mr. Incredible. Summed up his tasks. Finally, Bob could act like a real super again. Of course, it had been a long time since Mr. Incredible had battled an out of control robot. It didn't help that he was not in super shape. Wham, bam. Still, as Marriage and her boss watched on a video screen from their headquarters, Mr. Incredible eventually was able to trick the robot and shut it down. Mr. Incredible was thrilled. He felt like a new man. Back at home, he started a new routine. Each day he pretended to go to work, but instead, Mr. Incredible exercised. Soon he was a fit and as strong as his super self. He even had a new super suit made by Edna Mode, former designer for the Supers. When Marriage called again, Mr. Incredible was ready. Following her instructions, he flew back to the island of No Mention. Once again, he battled on an droid, but this droid was much faster and stronger and smarter, and anticipated all of Mr. Incredible's moves, eventually capturing Mr. Incredible. Suddenly, Mr. Incredible heard a wild laugh. It's bigger, it's better, it's finally ready, yelled a wild haired man who jutted down to face the captured super. He looked so familiar. Buddy, asked the amazed Mr. Incredible. My name is not Buddy, and it's not Incredible Boy either. Shrek's the better grown up Buddy. All I wanted to do was help you, but I learned an important lesson. You can't count on anyone. Now I have a weapon that only I can defeat, he added, laughing evilly. I'm Syndrome. Syndrome tossed Mr. Incredible over a cliff into the river below. Then Syndrome drew a bomb into the water to get rid of the super for good. Mr. Incredible found safely in an underwater cave, but inside the cave he discovered the skeleton of his unlucky super friend Gusser Beam. Unfortunately for Mr. Incredible, though, Gusser Beam's skeleton blocked the probe Syndrome had sent after him. Gusser Beam had also left a clue carving the word Kernros into the cave wall before he died. Mr. Incredible escaped from the cave, then he found his way to Syndrome's headquarters and the villain's main computer. When Mr. Incredible typed the words Kronos into the computer, Syndrome's plan appeared. There was a long list of supers, and most of them were listed as terminated. It quickly became clear that Syndrome had been using supers to train his android. Now that Syndrome had perfected the robot, he was going to launch the android against the city. Suddenly, Mr. Incredible's suit starts beeping. Mr. Incredible didn't know why, but he did know it was time to run. Before he could escape, though, sticky blobs shot from wall mounted guns surrounded and captured him. The beeping came from a homing device that Edna Mode had swum into Mr. Incredible's super suit. Helen had activated it after meeting with Edna. Edna Mode had also made super suits for the rest of the Power family. Helen decided to go and find Bob, and fortunately, as Helen was trying to tell Boy to take care of her brothers while she was gone, Dash found the kids new super suits. He raced around in his super speedy suit. When Bive tried out hers, she learned that her suit turned invisible when she did. Hey, both of you, knock it off. Yeah, Helen cried. Soon Elastigirl had everything under control. She boarded a jet bound for Nomensen. But as the jet neared the island, Elastigirl discovered Pilot and Stash on board. They quickly blamed each other for stowing away. You left Jack alone, Elastigirl cried. Of course we got a setter. Do you think I'm totally irresponsible? As but Elastigirl found the setter, but the call was short. The jet was under attack. Watching from headquarters, Syndrome's accomplice marriage announced Tarkus was destroyed. Mr. Incredible knew his family was on the jet. He was domesticated. Syndrome sneered. You'll get over it. I seem to recall that you prefer to work alone. But Syndrome had underestimated as Elastigirl. She had made herself into a parachute and landed with the children safely in the ocean, when Elastigirl had shaped herself into a boat, using Dash's super fast legs as a motor. The super family raced towards the island to rescue Incredible. When they made it to shore, Elastigirl found a cave whereby and Stash could hide. Elastigirl handed the children masks and said, "Put these on. If anything goes wrong, use your powers." Then Elastigirl left to break into Syndrome's headquarters and rescue her husband. When but By and Stash's cave was actually an entrance to Syndrome's rocket base. Soon after, a giant fireball forced By and Stash out of their cave. The fireball turned out to be the rocket exhaust from Hydron's space. Dash and By watched as the rocket carrying the Omnidroid rocketed into the night sky and headed toward the city. The next morning, Dash spotted what he thought was a talking bird. It was one of Sandra's security alerts, suddenly Bud and Dash were surrounded by guards.